Alrighty, guys. All Facts Media. My name is Aaron Robinson, joined by my twin brother, Andrew Robinson. On today's Coach's Corner, we are joined by North Carolina A&T assistant coach, Ahmad Dorsett. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me, fellas. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. Appreciate you coming along with us, man. So, first and foremost, we're going to let everybody, get to know you a little bit. So, obviously, we know that you had a playing career. Obviously, started off playing, at George Mason and, then got into coaching and everything. So, talk to us, about your playing career. What led you into coaching and, what brought you to North Carolina A&T today?
Well, what brought me into coaching actually started with my high school coach. Being a DMV product and going to Woodbridge High School, graduating there, I played for the legendary Will Robinson. You know what I'm saying? And just learning from him and having the opportunity to play in the program. He taught us a lot. Taught us a lot about family and brotherhood and stuff like that. And he was always there. He created a culture and created a staff that would always take care of the players and so on and so on. The players would come back, older players would come back with the younger players, and our open gyms were like no other. You know what I'm saying? It was like no other. I would go to college, I'd come back to open gym. So, a lot of that credit goes to him getting my mind on that path, getting on that track. So I went to George Mason, played there 4 years. First year I played for Paul Westhead, who actually coached Magic Johnson in the Lakers. You know what I mean? Coached Hank Gathers, so called Run the System back then. Yeah. But I was under him for 1 year, and then Jim Larinaga, Coach L, came in, who's currently at Miami now. And, man, it just – everything took off from that point on, man. Just had the opportunity to go to the tournament, go to the big dance, man. That was a great feeling. Created some great relationships with coaches starting in college. While I was playing, I started to create, a lot of networks with area high school coaches in Fairfax, D.C., Maryland, just by working camps and stuff like that. And then having the opportunity after I graduated and finished playing, I played in the NRL, which was the rookie league, which later on became the G League and the D League. So, I was in the original startup, man. We was at Coolidge. It was at Coolidge, playing, having practice and stuff like that. We played in Baltimore, and DMV guy was our coach, Reggie Williams. Wow. Reggie at Georgetown, he was actually my coach.
Wow.
So, and then to come full circle, man, just to have the opportunity to start in college. I've been at a Division II level, Mount Olive College, was at Bowie State University, went to coach high school again to be a head high school coach to get that experience. Did that for a couple of years, got back into college, went to Mount St. Mary's. I was at Longwood. I was at High Point for 7 years. And then past 2 years, I've been at North Carolina A&T.
So, you definitely have had, quite the journey. You've played for, like you mentioned, at Mason, you played for multiple coaches. You've had the opportunity to coach under, a lot of coaches, obviously, on your journey at A&T. What's something that you've kind of taken, along your journey that's kind of helped you, become a coach today?
The biggest thing, man, that I've taken, that I've learned a lot, I kind of learned as a player, coming up in college under Jim Larinaga, he was a motivator, you know what I'm saying? And we always had this saying, begin with the end in mind, you know what I mean? So before every practice, the very first practice of the season, the thought of the day was begin with the end in mind, and I kind of took that everywhere I go, you know what I mean? Even with life, man, you guys, you're going for a new job or whatever. If you want to work for Verizon or you want to go into selling cars, you got to go in. You got to go in the beginning with the end game. What's your end game? You know what I'm saying? So, I've taken that as a player and I kind of instilled that to our players that I touch today. You know what I'm saying? And then just let these guys know, man, time management, being organized, it's never easy, but things that I can contribute to them to help them become successful is what I really, really like to do. I mean, that's what I have a passion for, you know.
So switching gears a little bit, you know, obviously we're in, you know, unprecedented times right now, you know, with this COVID-19 pandemic that we're all going through right now. And obviously it's had an immense impact, you know, on the basketball world. Obviously, you know, taking a step back to, you know, mid-March, you know, obviously we're all up at the MEAC tournament, you know, in Norfolk, and the news comes down that Rudy Gobert first tests positive for the coronavirus. And then I think you guys were actually playing that night in a game, and it had, I think, you know, won that game. And then the next day is when, you know, it came down that everything was canceled. So obviously you guys were, you know, one of the teams that, you know, had a legitimate shot to win the conference. So, you know, what was that moment like, you know, finding out that the season was canceled and then having to, you know, inform your team that, you know, it was over, and, you know, just walk me through that process, you know, for you guys at A&T.
Man, I think it was very difficult, man, because, you know, we had a lot of gas in the tank left, you know, and you never want to end a season like that, especially when you're a senior. You know what I'm saying? That's what we play basketball because we want to go to the dance. You want to experience that atmosphere. Yeah. It's like no other. You want to experience that atmosphere, and then when you win and you have the opportunity to experience going to the big dance, that's life changing. That's a life changing event. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking from head coaches, players, all the way down to managers. It is a life changing event. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I felt bad that our guys didn't get an opportunity to finish out the season and maybe have the opportunity to go to the dance. But the biggest thing, man, is of course health. You know, and I think this pandemic has been a lesson for a lot of us, especially, you know, athletes, understanding, hey, as a coach, you're saying, hey, man, you can get injured, you know, you might not be able to play no more because of a certain type of injury or an illness. Basketball stops for the entire world. Think about it. Every sport stopped for the entire world. Every profession, high school, middle school, elementary, whatever you want to call it, it completely stopped. So anything can be taken away from you. You know what I'm saying? Hence the importance of actually really getting an education. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't go out and play a game and get injured and had to stop playing and then fall back on education. Man, the world came to a halt. You know, so I think people growing up in this era right now will always think differently now, maybe prepare a bit different now. You know what I'm saying? Take things a little bit more serious now. Like, man, you know what? Hey, man, 2 years ago when I was a freshman, I didn't even finish out my freshman year and basketball season was over. And I wasn't really doing too well in the classroom, but you know what? I might need to pick this up a little more now. I might need to go ahead and think about what's really important.
I mean, obviously, you know, on that same topic of the coronavirus, you know, obviously now this is something that is halted spring recruiting. You know, it's halted. We don't really know what's going to happen with summer live period and going out and to see players. You can't have players on campus if you want to have visits and things like that. So how have you guys been able to, you know, stay recruit and, you know, kind of adapt during this time of the coronavirus?
Well, you know, obviously technology is great. Technology is great. And we haven't slowed down. We haven't slowed down, man. We actually vamped up a little more, you know, just talking to more kids, getting to know families a little more, reaching out via text, email, Zooms, Twitter, you know, Instagram. Today's generation, they're all about that. So as a staff, we just been going full throttle, man. We're going full throttle. We touch kids every day. We touch them every day. And if I'm not touching them, if our head coach, Coach Jones, is not touching them, you know, Coach Shumper's touched him. He's in Atlanta, Georgia right now. You know what I'm saying? Coach Abdullah is in Raleigh, Durham, and he's touching guys. You know what I'm saying? So we're all spread out, but we meet weekly with our guys on the team currently. We started off having Zooms with the team. Then we brought in our new guys. You know what I mean? So we're all in it together. But we're having Zoom meetings with families. We're having official visits through Zoom. You know, we're showing presentations. You know what I'm saying? We're making people feel like they were actually on campus.
Now, obviously, Andrew and I are both MEAC guys. You know, we've heard all the stories about how A&T gets in the spring, you know, with the nice weather and all the activity that goes on campus and everything. And everybody knows it would be great to have some visits on campus, you know, during that time period. But unfortunately, obviously, coronavirus put a stop to all that. You know, couldn't have anybody on campus, so they couldn't get to experience, you know, the A&T aura, if you will. But you know, how did you guys kind of deal with that during the spring period? You know, what was that like, kind of navigating and not being able to get guys on campus? And you know, do you think it had any effect on you guys, like recruiting wise?
Well, I think it has a little bit. You know, just not having the opportunity to get guys on campus, but I think we did a tremendous job identifying the guys we needed in the 2020 class earlier enough, so we were able to make them, you know, feel comfortable with our staff. And you know, we actually had some guys come in the beginning of the season, you know, for unofficial visits. So it was huge that we were able to do that, so they kind of have some idea of what campus life is like and what the atmosphere is like. But yeah, there's no comparison. If you're not there and you can't experience, and you've never been there and just seen it on a computer, it's totally different. The example is homecoming. You know, not knowing what's going to happen in the future with football. You know, GHO is a big event for not only, you know, the community, the university, but alums. You know, it's huge. It's huge. So, you know, we'll cross that stage once we get there. But you know, hopefully we'll just keep fighting and have somewhat of a homecoming. But I tell you what, mark my words now, GHO is so special, and if we can't have a live one, I guarantee you, Zoom is going to be popping. It's going to be a live Zoom Aggie homecoming. I'm telling you. We're going to have Backyard live. We're going to have Dougie Fresh, Big Daddy Kane live. It's going to be special.
Man, that will definitely be something to see, man. So, I mean, kind of staying on the topic of, you know, the MEAC and basketball, I mean, I think the MEAC oftentimes gets overlooked in terms of, like, basketball and how competitive the league is and just the amount of good basketball that takes place in the MEAC. Kind of talk about what that's been like. Obviously, you've been in the MEAC for the last 2 years. And even like you mentioned in your past, you coached at Bowie State, which is HBCU. You talk about like HBCU basketball in general, like the culture that's there, and just, you know, what that's like being able to the coaching atmosphere.
The culture is you can't compare it. So I've been on both sides, okay. And here's what I'll tell you as far as the talent level. Not everybody can play in the MEAC or in the CIAA, okay? Not everybody can play in that. You know what I'm saying? I think people overlook it because it's its own culture. You know, we have our own brand. You see what I'm saying? So it's overlooked. But you have to experience it to really get the full effect and be like, you know what, I gotta accept it. You know what I'm saying? But we're just as good as any other league. You know what I'm saying? The difference is we're just not promoted as much. We don't have a lot of TV. You know what I'm saying? We don't have all the ESPNs and ESPN2s coming through CIAA or coming through the MEAC like that, like other schools and leagues do. That's the difference. Because if you did, we'd be more of an attraction. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's almost like you're in high school and you're playing AAU, you're playing at a big time high school, and you got your peers going to, CAA or A10 schools, and they're all just talking D1, 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 D1. Hey, man, listen, there's some D2s out there too now. D2s are just as powerful. There's guys who couldn't qualify Division I that go Division II. That's why the transfer portal is so huge. You got guys that are going so high, coming back, and now they're going lower, and they're more successful. So, HBCU, man, listen, Division I, Division II, same guys can play at any other PWI without a problem. Without a problem. I will say this. The culture of the HBCU, the fan base is like no other. You know what I mean? The support system is like no other because it's not just an individual support. It's a huge group support. You know what I'm saying? So it's you can attend Compass State and go to Tuskegee and they're gonna accept you with open arms. You see what I'm saying? You can go there and visit and they're gonna be like, oh, because you are in that culture.
Now, obviously, one of the biggest rivalries in the MEAC, is North Carolina A&T and North Carolina Central. Obviously, that's one of the biggest games each and every year. Obviously, this year, you guys beat them by about 20 at home, and then the regular season championship came down to you guys and them, last day of the regular season, and the games are always highly competitive and everything. So, just talk a little bit about that rivalry for those, that don't know, about the rivalry, and just give everybody a sense of, what that's like.
It's a championship game every time they play. Eagles going to Central, it's a championship game. Central coming over to A&T, championship game. All the time. You know what I mean? The Aggie-Eagle battle. It's war. It is war. And the crazy thing is, it's a war between the fans. Like this. Let's say there was going to be A&T versus Central at 8:00 on a Friday. You got the DJ in the stands jamming, and the basketball team didn't show up. It would still be a big war. It'd be a dancing war. This side of the bleachers and that side of the bleachers, and they will battle for hours, and the game ain't even start. That's the type of atmosphere it is. It's unreal. It is unreal, man. Like walking in the gym, and our ladies played before us, packed. It's standing room only. Both places. It's standing room only. You got 107 up top. You got the dog pound in the corner. Oh, man. The band's going live. That atmosphere, I mean, you might leave out of there in a full sweat. Being in the stands. And I'm talking like, and for people who don't understand what I'm getting at, there's grandmas and grandpas in the stands standing up dancing. I'm talking canes and everything, and they are partying. It's fun, man. It's fun. It's fun to see. It's fun for each university. It's fun for the alumni. It attracts a huge crowd. It's great for the area. I mean, it's a big time event.
Yeah, I think even more so than that, like A&T is actually one of the more historic schools in terms of like prestige and as well as football. Like even the football program there is very good, very successful. The athletics at that school is very strong. The track team is very successful. So just for you guys as a basketball program, like obviously last 3 years Central's won the MEAC and kind of been on top. For you guys, what is the plan for you guys kind of going forward the next couple of years to try to be like the track team or the football team and just kind of match that high level at A&T, that standard that's just there.
Well, I think we've turned that corner now. We past couple seasons we had 20 win seasons. Coach Jones took over in the middle right before conference play. We went from averaging, a little under 50 points to 70 points. You know what I'm saying? So we've turned that turned that corner, and now it's just creating a culture that our athletic director Earl Hilton has put in place, and he's done a tremendous job, and we're winning. You know, bowling's winning. You know, volleyball's winning, baseball's winning, track and field, like you said, is winning. Football has always been winning. They've been dominating. You know, and women's basketball has been winning. You know, so now men's basketball has really turned that corner. Now we're starting to win. So I think it's in the water now. I think everybody understands and accepts this. That's just the way the university is. We're about putting a winning product on the field, on the court, you know. So I think now with us only having 1 year left in the MEAC, I feel like it's just we have some unfinished business, you know. We had a great team and we were winning. The fans were pouring in. Our games were sold out. You know, every game we were playing at home was sold out. We had people coming on the road. So our guys are starting to see, like, man, what winning does. And then it starts to become a habit. You know, now our guys are accustomed to winning games. So, you know, the comfort level of going into battle night in and night out just changes. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we just want to just carry that on to the Big South. You know, we'll be in that conference in the 21 season, 21-22. So we want to just keep the motor going.
Yep. Now, you know, it's a great segue. I have my next question of, you know, you guys are moving to the Big South, you know, in a year from now. You know, what do you think that this move is going to do, you know, for you guys as an institution, not only athletically but academically as well?
Well, I think it's going to be great. You know, we're a very diverse university. And you got to think now, we're the largest HBCU in the nation. You know, so we're not just we have over 13,000 students. You know what I mean? So we're big, man. And I think us going into the Big South, we're still going to be at that level. You know, because we'll be the biggest school there. Hampton's pretty big. You know, prior to, you know, Liberty leaving the Big South, they were the biggest.
Yep.
You know, when I was at High Point, we only had about 4,500 students.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think Winthrop and those other schools are they got low numbers as well. So I think that we're going to be in great shape as a university because we have the resources. We got the best resources you can think of, man. I mean, it's unreal. I mean, we got it. You can walk on campus and go to the engineering building, and they're building cars. Like, I'm talking about like live-size remote control cars. You know what I mean? Like, our resources are unreal. They're building planes, live-size jets to fly by remote. Like, we got everything you think of. So I don't think we'll have any issues fitting in the Big South Conference as a university. I definitely don't think we'll have any issues fitting in athletically. You know, just seeing what we've been doing so far, I think we're going to just step right in and business as usual.
Right. So, I mean, with that being said, though, we just spoke a lot about, you know, the HBCU culture, you know, being in the MEAC and things like that. Obviously, like I mentioned, with A&T being a prestigious university, a prestigious HBCU, do you think that you guys, like, you know, will lose some of that going to the Big South? And obviously, that A&T Central game and it might happen once a year, maybe it's twice a year. Like, what do you think that's going to do just for the culture, like just losing a school like A&T, you know, for the MEAC and, you know, moving to the Big South where you're not really going to have those games anymore?
Well, I don't think it'll have a huge impact. It will have some impact. You know, I'm pretty sure we're going to continue to try to keep the Aggie Eagle Classic. You know, we're going to try to keep that for sure because of the history. But A&T, their alumni base and their support system goes beyond it. You know what I mean? So I think it's still going to be there because of the history. You know, this Aggie bread, man. You know, they just these kids come in embedded into Aggie land. Their grandfather, their great grandfather, their grandma, you know, mom, dad, their uncles, they all attend, and then they all graduated. So now the young ones are coming. You know, the little kids and the babies, they're all just, it's like a feeder system almost. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's gonna really hurt us that bad. I think our games will still be packed because we're going to be winning. You know, we're going to be winning, and we're going to be a huge attraction in Greensboro. You know, so I don't see. I see ticket sales still going up. I see season tickets holders still being there, and you know, because when we had non-conference games, those games were still packed. You know what I mean? You know, so I don't see if we'll have any issues or like anything like that.
Now, you guys are now the third school to leave the MEAC. Obviously, you know, you guys and Hampton left for the Big South. Savannah State left and went Division II. A lot of people are kind of up in arms about what could happen to the MEAC if teams keep leaving, teams keep, going D2. Obviously, the MEAC, a lot of schools financially aren't, as funded as other institutions in Division I. So what do you think that this is going to do for the MEAC, as a conference? Do you think that that's a trend? People have said that, the MEAC might fold in a few years if people keep leaving. So just, talk about the repercussions, for the MEAC conference. How you think that, that this is going to affect them?
Well, I mean, it'll affect them. It will affect. I don't know to what extent. I don't know what plans they have, moving forward, if they're going to bring some teams up, maybe merge with another league. I don't know. I don't want to speculate anything like that, but I do think it's survivable. I think it's going to take some brainstorming because I think you have some powerhouses in the CIAA. There's, you have other HBCU conferences that have some powerhouse teams. Is it, moving one or two of those guys up to the MEAC to take Hampton and A&T's place? You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be who can afford what. Doesn't mean you add two more teams and you lower the amount of conference games to make the money comparable. Who knows? I think you can look at it. It's just, I'm not at that table, so I don't know what they're thinking, but I think there's always going to be a way. But with the HBCU culture, I think they'll fight to make it survive. So.
I mean, you touched on it a little bit earlier, how you guys went from scoring about 50 points a game, 70 points a game earlier in the season. And, you guys turned into kind of like the Lob City in the MEAC and Division I basketball. I mean, you guys were definitely a fun team to watch, to play against for us at Coppin. I remember that game was up and down, back and forth. So, I mean, for you, what was it like being on the sidelines and kind of honestly, as a coach, what was that like in practice, putting that stuff in? Do you guys practice that stuff? Or like, what was that about?
It's funny. We don't practice it. We don't practice it.
Come on, man. Come on now.
No way.
If you notice, we didn't call plays. We didn't call plays. We ran. We ran. The only thing we did is we had our guys come to practice. We said, listen, all I need you to do is give us an hour and a half. We're gonna cut practice in half. When Coach Jones took over, we cut practice in half. Said, look, I don't want to repeat stuff. I want you guys to come in and be pros. You guys want to be pros, so let's come in and let's be pros. Practice became a relaxed atmosphere. Guys were enjoying it. Guys were coming by the office and watching tons of film. They got to the point where they was calling us coaches to say, Coach, can we watch film? And then in practice, we did a lot of 5-on-5 going up and down. We do some individual skill work. And when I mean going up and down, I'm talking like we'll probably play for 4 minutes. Go up and down 4 minutes, and they're just playing. We let them go. Do what you do well. If you shoot threes, shoot threes. If you catch lobs, point up in the air. Hey, throw it up there, because Cam's gonna find you. He led the nation in assists. So there's no practice in lobs. You have the ability to jump and go get it. We got a point guard who can throw it. Let's do it.
Y'all had that boy Quay Parker there in the corner waiting for them lives. Y'all had the boy Cam throwing lives from half court. He said they don't practice that, man. They're throwing lives from half court.
You can't practice those. Look, you know who practices those? Guys who don't do it. Who practices those? Guys who don't do it, man. But I mean, Quay Parker, man, he's an internet superstar. He's been that, in high school. He's a phenomenon in that area, man. He's just amazing. He's athletic. He's a talented kid. So, it's one thing you got to understand. You got to be leery of where Quay Parker is, because if you're not paying attention, you're going to get dunked on. But see, the issue was we had Ron Jackson on the other side. If it was getting by you, your program to step up and help. So somebody's going to catch something, but we don't. But believe me, guys were getting dunked on in practice too now. They was trying to dunk on the coaches, and we was in the drills. I'm like, yo, man, listen, y'all come dunk on me, I'm putting you on the floor. I'm jumping, but you ain't going to make it to the basket. Our practices were fun, man. Music's playing, what I mean? And they're stretching, and it's fun. It was fun, man. I think our guys really just were absorbing everything that Coach Jones was trying to dish out, man. And the way that Coach Jones was delivering the message to the guys, it was like a breath of fresh air for them. You know what I'm saying? Like they were finding the passion and the love to play the game of basketball and not look at it as so much as work. And I think by us cutting down practice time, it allowed that culture to develop. Also, guys coming in throughout the day, working on their craft, getting shots up, working on individual moves and stuff like that. So when they came to practice, they didn't really have to spend that much time on it. They can get some shots up and stuff afterwards, but we were able to get in and focus on one or two things. I mean, the only time we really called plays was during a dead ball or a free throw. That was it. Other than that, we just played, put Cam in ball screen actions, and let it go.
I mean, obviously for you guys, you got Cam coming back next year. You got transfer, and Blake Harris is going to be eligible next year. You guys should have a pretty good team going into the 2020-21 season. So, I mean, like, what is the outlook for next season? What is your guys' goal, leaving the MEAC next year and looking forward for A&T?
Well, Coach was always just preaching like we're not in the MEAC. Because a lot of people think like MEAC is just by itself. Like we're not in the MEAC. We are in an elite league. We're in an elite league right now. We want our guys to think elite. I think with the guys we got returning and the addition of the new players, man, like I said, we have some unfinished business. You know what I mean? We have some unfinished business, man. We're going to stay humble, keep our head down, and come to work every day, because we got some things we gotta get accomplished. We're not going to think too far ahead, Big South or anything like that. We got some things we have to get accomplished in the MEAC, and with the new additions, man, I think the future's really bright.
So you guys definitely will have a great team next year. Coppin State will too. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
Just want to remind you guys what happened. We got kicked out of Baltimore this year. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, man, thanks for joining us today, man. We appreciate having you on, man. Best of luck to you guys at A&T, except for when you're playing Coppin. And thanks for joining us today, man.
Man, thanks for having me, man. Listen, look. Y'all got us at your spot. Y'all got us. You know what I'm saying? Good little battle. But like I said, we got a little more gas in the tank. We got some gas left in the tank now.
We had some gas too. Don't worry. We were looking forward to seeing y'all in the MEAC tournament.
Ready for y'all? Yes, sir. We're looking forward to that.
We wanted that matchup.
Hey, listen. Just whenever you see my guy Rick, and you see him on the court, man, tell him pass the ball, man. Tell him out there, man. Now, look, I told him the other day, I said, man, you posting all these shots, you dropped 40. Man, how many assists you got? One? Hey, man, look.
0.
Exactly.
And his man probably scored 40.
Right. Everybody standing around looking at him, told man, look, nobody want to play with him no more because he don't pass the ball. Nah, man. But I appreciate you guys, man. I really do.
No problem, man.
No doubt, Coach.
Coach, appreciate it.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Sure.